Mongwanani Malelepo Vukenjani Kleklas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, your portal into Africa's potent stories. Happy Workers' Day to the men and women of Namibia and across Africa whose labor shapes economies, families and futures. This morning we reflect on the strength and resilience of workers as we track youth unemployment gains shadowed by working poverty, examine how labor participation defines economies, and explore the realities of informality and healthcare priorities. We also follow currency pressures and major business movements shaping the continent. Africa Good Morning can be watched on DSTV 285, GOTV 25, NTVAFRIKA.MY.NA, and NTV Africa on YouTube. My name is Ashwin Bedi. These are some of the stories we'll be looking at. Youth employment rises, but working poverty persists across Africa. Health becomes top concern for Africans, surpassing unemployment. Weak African currencies signal economic vulnerabilities in the global market. Dangote's wealth surges as expansion plans extend across Africa. And we'll be bringing you the news videos of the week stemming from Namibia. So once again, from the Africa Good Morning team as well as NTV Africa, happy Workers' Day. Top story shortly.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative sport tourism.
Africa youth employment is increasing, but this growth is not translating into improved living standards, according to a report by the World Data Lab. About 57% of young Africans are employed, compared with 48% globally, but working poverty among employed youth in Africa stands at 34%. 1 in 3 employed young people lives in households below the international poverty line of $2.15 a day. Countries such as Burundi and Madagascar illustrate this pattern, with high youth employment rates above 70%, but also extremely high poverty levels, including around 2/3 of working youth in Burundi and 90% of employed young women in Madagascar living in extreme poverty. The report highlights that more work often coincides with higher poverty. Many young people are engaged in low productivity agricultural jobs that do not raise living standards. The data shows that employment alone is not a guarantee of economic security, and rising employment must be matched by improvements in earnings, productivity, and access to better opportunities to ensure meaningful livelihood improvements. Now, health has emerged as the most important issue Africans want their governments to address, overtaking unemployment for the first time in at least a decade, according to Afrobarometer survey findings. The report is based on 45,600 interviews conducted across 38 African countries in 2024 and 2025. Citizens overwhelmingly support universal healthcare, even if it requires higher taxes. Most respondents lack health insurance confidence and express concern about their ability to access and afford medical care. About 2/3 report that they or a family member went without medicine or treatment at least once in the previous year. Among those who interacted with public health facilities, many cite difficulties such as shortages of medical supplies, long waiting times, and high costs. The findings highlight widespread challenges in accessing healthcare and reflect growing public concern about health systems across the continent. The shift in priorities does underscore increasing pressure on governments to improve healthcare delivery and ensure access to essential services for their populations. Now, currency stability remains a critical factor for economic resilience across Africa amid global economic fragmentation, geopolitical tensions, and shifting trade dynamics. Weak or depreciating currencies amplify external shocks, including supply chain disruptions, commodity price volatility, and tightening global financial conditions. Countries heavily reliant on imports, such as petroleum and food, experience rapid price increases when currencies weaken. Ghana cedi has faced pressure to foreign exchange shortages and strong demand for dollars, while Nigeria's naira has significantly depreciated from around 400 to over 1,000 per dollar in parallel markets, contributing to inflation and uncertainty. Commodity-dependent economies such as Zambia face currency fragility when it's linked to export revenue fluctuations. Currency depreciation also increases debt servicing costs when obligations are denominated in foreign currencies. Keeping in mind, the Zambian currency at some point this year was the best performing currency in the world with regards to its growth against the US dollar. So some objectivity obviously necessary there. Now, let's talk money. Big money. Eliot Dangote, Africa's richest man, has seen his net worth rise to $34 billion, increasing by $3.99 billion this year and placing him as the world's 69th richest person. His wealth was previously reported at $33.2 billion last week. Despite trailing South Africa's Nati Kirsch and Nigeria's Abdul Samad Rabiu in year-to-date gains, Dangote remains the continent's wealthiest individual. He began the year with $30.4 billion and has steadily climbed global rankings. Dangote recently announced plans to expand petroleum refining operations into East Africa, proposing a 650,000 barrels per day refinery modeled after his Nigerian facility, subject to government support and policy alignment. The proposal was presented at the Africa We Build Summit in Nairobi alongside leaders including William Ruto and Yoweri Museveni. Increased jet fuel exports from the Dangote refinery also signal growing influence in global aviation fuel supply chains. These developments highlight ongoing expansion efforts and the increasing role of African industrial capacity in international markets. Those have been our top stories on May the 1st, Workers' Day. We're going to take a quick break before we zone in on the land of the brave, Namibia.
And all their modern ambition pace, there is no margin for error. So much here is familiar.
Over 1,900 games brought us here.
There is not a sporting heat quite like this.
But history doesn't care about the journey.
The Premier League is the best league in the world.
La Liga is far and beyond the biggest winner.
It only remembers how it ends.
You bottle it. There's no other word. You bottle it.
8 titles. 1 month of mayhem to decide them all.
That is outstanding from Patrick Dorgan.
Stay connected and watch GOTV to catch the football season finale this May. It's on.
All right, we are in Namibia, where President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah delivered the keynote address at the Namibia University of Namibia School of Education graduation ceremony, commending students and the institution. She did note that in 2024, UNAM ranked 24th among African universities and 14th in sub-Saharan Africa. This video is by Desmarius Hansen.
Our ceremonies when established in 1992, UNAM had 3,639 students. Today, this university is home to over 31,000 students. And this number includes Namibians and international students. Such impressive growth is evidence of the government's commitment to prioritizing quality education and youth empowerment. As already mentioned by the Vice Chancellor, the mandate of UNAM was made very clear from the beginning. And to summarize it, is there to develop the human resources for an independent Namibia. Today, I'm pleased to note that UNAM continues to play a significant role as per its mandate in developing Namibia's workforce by producing graduates equipped with necessary skills and professional.
Now, Joseph Kashiri, a young entrepreneur from Rundu, offered free fumigation services at Kashinakashi Senior Secondary School following food poisoning incidents. His team addressed hygiene concerns linked to cockroaches, and they pledged to extend services to other schools, with the initiative valued at 6,500 Namibian dollars. Here is Eliot Ipinge.
My name is Josef Kachiri, the owner of Josef Pest Control. We are here at Kashinakashi Combined School to do cockroach fumigation in the kitchen. So recently we had incident food poisoning at Kashinakashi Combined School. So we decided as our company to commit the government halfway to come do the fumigation of the kitchen. Since cockroach is one of the most major things contributing to food poisoning at the school. So as you can see, we are here as a team. We are busy doing the cockroach fumigation, and we are going to expand. This is not our last fumigation. We are going to expand to Kavango West, Kavango East, all over the school in Kavango East and Kavango West, which serving hostels. We are going to expand and meet the government halfway. So we are just helping the government to meet them halfway as we are doing the kitchen. As you can see, we are doing the fumigation. Thank you very much.
All right, and just some clarity there. That video report was by Eliot Ipinge, but in the video itself was Joseph Kashiri, the entrepreneur who is doing his best to contribute to society. Now, the Ministry of Health and Social Services in Namibia accounted for 79% of all government appointments below management level in the 2024-2025 financial year, with 590 hires. Now, a total of 749 appointments were made below management, with women comprising 67%. Additionally, 94 promotions to management were recorded, of which 64% were women. And this video is by Phillipus Josef.
During the 2024-2025 financial year, the Public Service Commissions recommended the appointment of 21 staff members to management positions, of which 12, which represents 51%, were male, and 10, which represent 48%, were female. A total of 749 staff members were appointed to posts below management cadre during the period under review, of which 33% were male and 67% were female. The Ministry of Health and Social Services recorded the highest number of appointments, accounting for 590, which is 79% out of the total of 749. The Commission is committed to continue engaging OMAs and regional councils and other relevant stakeholders to ensure recruitment of persons with disabilities, marginalized people, and youth. A total of 94 staff members were promoted to management cadre positions, of which 36% were male and 64% were female. The Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations recorded the highest number of promotions, amounting to 35%. In addition, a total of 35 staff members were promoted to posts below management cadre, of which 20%, which is 57%.
Now, the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board held a stakeholder engagement event at Drombos. Deputy Minister Jenely Matundu delivered the keynote address highlighting efforts in policy reform, nation branding, skills development, market access, and trade promotion. This video is also by Phillipus Josef.
Across policy reform, nation branding, skills development, and market access and trade promotion, complementing MSME development and investment promotion, reflects a comprehensive approach to economic transformation. The continued engagement of repeat partners is a strong indicator of confidence. It reflects not only satisfaction with outcomes, but trust in the NIPDB as a credible and reliable partner driving national development and economic growth. This is a foundation we must continue to strengthen. To our current and prospective partners gathered here today, I wish to
Now, the Ndama Community Information Center was launched in Rundu under the ISUD project, and this is a collaboration between Germany's Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, Rundu Town Council, as well as GIZ Namibia. The center aims to improve service delivery and land governance while reducing travel costs and enhancing community engagement. This video is by Eliot Ipinge.
Privilege, honor, and pleasure to join you in the opening event of the Community Information Center today. And the previous speaker has outlined what is the purpose of this community center. But I think the most important is it's the first of its kind in Namibia. It's the first community information center bringing basic services to the settlement. You no longer need to go to Home Affairs, to the council. You save money in transport and so on. And you receive, I hope so soon, better services. And it's also a space for you to unite, to have events, to communicate, to enjoy, and to have maybe a growing community. So it's really first of its kind, and we hope that many cities are looking at Rundu and copying this type of.
And now, Windhoek Mayor Zacharias Unona welcomed the establishment of a solar center in the city, and this is in collaboration with Berlin, highlighting progress in energy initiatives. This video is by Elizabeth Klebes.
You on this important occasion, as we mark the inauguration of the Windhoek Solar Center, a significant milestone that reflects our shared commitment to innovation, sustainability, and inclusive development. The Municipal Council of Windhoek and City of Berlin have enjoyed a fraternal relationship for more than 2 decades under the cooperation agreement signed in 2000 within the framework of the Namibian-German friendship. This endowed partnership demonstrates the importance role that city-to-city cooperation plays in strengthening the broader bilateral relations between Namibia and Germany. Today's event is yet another tangible outcome of the partnership. In 2025, the Council of City of Windhoek approved the acceptance of grant funding amounting to 212,750 euro, approximately 4.3 million Namibian dollars, for the project titled Establishment of a Solar Center for Windhoek, within the framework of the Windhoek-Berlin Partnership. That of these funding valued at approximately 2 million was allocated towards the renovation of this facility, those of whose inauguration we proud witness today. Ladies and gentlemen, while Windhoek continues to grow and develops a Namibian capital city, we must remain mindful of the realities facing many of our residents. A number of community members still do not have access to electricity, a grid, and patiently wait for the municipality to extend power infrastructures to their home.
And in the last of our news videos of the week from Namibia, the Alpha Namibia Retirement Fund launched a brand new logo, marking a refreshed identity after years of growth. Liberty Life Namibia Managing Director Garth Peterson stated the rebrand reflects the fund's expansion with significant growth in clientele and assets while emphasizing retirement security for members. He spoke to Phillipus Josef.
Since 2014, been operating for 12 years, but what we did today is to give the fund a face. So like the PO has mentioned, it's a baby born, but the baby has been growing steadily now. So I think when you look at retirement, it's something quite personal to everyone in Namibia. And what we're trying to do with this fund is to create a dignified retirement. So when a person gets to that point in their lives, they can be proud of what they achieved, and they could have that peace of mind to retire quite comfortably for themselves and for their families. So like I mentioned, the fund has been in existence in 2012, so we have a number of clients. So it will be difficult because as I don't have it on the top of my head, but we're seeing a sharp trajectory in terms of growth over the last 2 years of small and medium pension clients coming in under the umbrella fund. We've grown the fund over the last 2 years just over 100% in terms of the clientele as well as the assets under management, and we've also come up with a robust investment philosophy that is being chaired by investment committee members of ours. So I think what we're seeing is that we've definitely created a niche market for ourselves in the small to medium size employer. That is not to say we do not cater to a larger employer as we geared, and we actually do have a couple of larger employers. I mean, Liberty itself is also a part of this fund. So yeah, some exciting stuff happening, but still small and nimble enough to just provide that personal touch to our participating employees.
With that, we say goodbye to you on this Workers' Day broadcast. Thank you for joining us on DSTV 285, GOTV 25, oneup2.com, Network Media Hub, and NTVAFRIKA.MY.NA. To Namibians, let us stay brave and building as we grow this nation. And to Africans, we are always better together. Swereja Kanaka.